Hello, and welcome to another episode of Snail Mail with Smokey. I'm Smokey. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And for those of you who are Star Wars fans out there, happy Star Wars Day. That's right, today is May the 4th. It is Star Wars Day. And as an avid Star Wars fan and lover of all things sci-fi, I am really excited to share this day with you. Having said that, what I thought I would do on this video is show you some of the stamps in my collection that feature the Star Wars universe. You may be surprised to know that there are a plethora of philatelic material out there featuring the Star Wars universe. There are stamps, souvenir sheets, first day covers. There is so much material if you're wanting to start a topical collection of Star Wars philatelic material. And from several countries. The United States has some really nice Star Wars stamps. Great Britain excels at producing Star Wars philatelic material, and as well as other countries. So if you're wanting to start that collection, you have a lot of stamps to choose from to begin your collection of Star Wars stamps. So what I want to show you is this set of stamps here. This set of stamps was released by Great Britain. It was issued on October 20th, 2015. These stamps were printed using offset lithography. Each stamp measures 35 by 35 millimeters, and they are each rated for first class postage. Now, there are a couple of stamps in this series that I don't have, one featuring Rey and one featuring Finn, and there's a couple souvenir sheets that go with it that I don't have yet, but I hope to be adding to my collection in the very near future. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk about each of these stamps just for a few seconds, and I'll put a picture of the stamps right here beside me, one so you can get a better view of the stamp, but also each of these stamps has a miniature scene in the lower right corner of each stamp, and I think that's one of the great design features of these stamps. I think that's what makes them really stand out. Not only do you have the principal character, but you also have that little miniature scene in the stamp, and we'll talk about that as we go through each stamp. The first stamp is this stamp right here. This is Scott number 3442. This is one of my favorite two stamps in the series because it's of one of my favorite two characters. I know people love Luke and Leia and Han and Chewbacca, the Millennium Falcon, but my favorite two characters from the Star Wars franchise are Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader. And so I'm excited about the first two stamps I'm going to show you. This first one being of Emperor Palpatine. I think it's a really great stamp. The image is really vibrant, and I really like the scene in the lower right corner of this stamp. As you can see, that is Anakin Skywalker. He's holding Darth Vader's red lightsaber. This is shortly after Anakin has decided to follow the Emperor and the dark side of the Force, and he is transforming into Darth Vader. And so it's a really bold image, and I really like it, and I think it's just a really great stamp, and I'm happy to have it in my collection. The second stamp is Scott number 3435. And this is of Darth Vader after he is defeated by Obi-Wan, and he is taken and he's put in this walking life support suit that becomes his iconic image. So it's also a really great stamp. And then at the bottom of this stamp, you see that famous lightsaber duel between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, and we all have seen that scene play out many times in the movie, and so I think that was a really great addition to this stamp. Next is Scott number 3438. This features a stormtrooper from the Imperial Army, and although the stormtrooper image is really great, what is super cool about this stamp is the image in the lower right corner, and that is Darth Vader, and behind him is this procession of stormtroopers, and they are marching down the way. And if you are a Star Wars fan like me, you can almost hear the theme music in your head as you look at this scene on that stamp. And so every time I look at this stamp, that music for Darth Vader plays in my head, and I'm taken right back to the movies, and I just think it's a really great touch. Next is Scott number 3436. This is a stamp featuring Master Yoda, the great Jedi Master. And in the lower right-hand corner is Yoda and a young Luke Skywalker, presumably on Dagobah, when Luke Skywalker travels to Dagobah to seek out Master Yoda's help in becoming a Jedi. And here Yoda is imparting some Jedi wisdom to young Luke. And so it's a really strong stamp, and one that I also like. The next stamp is 3437. That's the Scott number. It features Obi-Wan Kenobi, the original Obi-Wan Kenobi from the original Star Wars trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6. And then below it in the middle is the iconic scene of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader at the end of that movie, having their famous lightsaber duel. And so we all, when we look at that, we know what's happening. We know what's about to happen. It's a real turning point in the Star Wars story. The next stamp is Scott number 3439. And that features Han Solo, captain of the Millennium Falcon, a very beloved character, a lot of people's favorite character from the Star Wars series. And then at the bottom right is his co-pilot of the Millennium Falcon, Chewbacca. Everyone loves Chewbacca. As soon as I remember him or look at this stamp and I think about Chewbacca, I think of him and Luke Skywalker in the Millennium Falcon playing chess, and Chewbacca gets all upset, and Obi-Wan gives Luke that famous advice: "Let the Wookiee win," and so that's what I think of when I see this stamp and I see Chewbacca. The next stamp is Scott 3441. That is, of course, of Princess Leia, but also with Princess Leia in the lower right corner is everyone's two favorite droids, 3CPO and R2-D2. They add much needed comic relief to the Star Wars franchise. They're always up to some sort of annex. They always seem to be at odds with each other until it comes right down to it, and then they end up helping each other save the day. So a really great stamp. And then next is Scott number 3443, and this is Luke Skywalker, and it's just a really strong stamp and a really great image of Luke on his home planet. You see the image there on the stamp, and it's a really strong image as well, and one that I really like. And then the last stamp is Scott number 3444, and this is Boba Fett, the bounty hunter who has become really, he was really famous in the original trilogy, but he has become more so famous in the newer movies and in some of the newer spin-off shows like The Mandalorian and some other things like that. Boba Fett has become a really popular character, and here he's featured on this stamp, and he's got his signature rocket launcher there on his back, and so a really strong stamp. So that is the stamps that I have from Great Britain that feature Star Wars. I think they are really nice stamps. I'm really pleased to have them in my collection, and I hope that you have enjoyed seeing them. That's going to do it for this episode of Snail Mail with Smokey. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so yet, would you please consider subscribing to my channel? We're just a few subscribers away from hitting 350, and I'm just blown away. I'm excited to hit that 350 mark. I have a goal in my head to hit 500 and beyond, And so if you haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing. It helps promote the channel and suggest the channel to other people who would enjoy the content that we're bringing you. Also, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Today is Star Wars Day, so let me know. Are you a Star Wars fan? If so, who's your favorite character? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite franchise? Just let me know your thoughts on Star Wars. It was the first movie that I ever saw in a theater when I was a small boy. And from the first time I saw it in the theater, I was hooked. I thought there was only going to be 3 movies. And then episode 1, 2, and 3 came out. And then 7, 8, and 9 came out. And now there's all these spin-offs. And the world is a lot larger now for Star Wars than it was when I was a young man first discovering this franchise. So yeah, leave me a comment on your thoughts of Star Wars. Until I see you next time, have a great day, and may the 4th be with you. Bye-bye.